If your cat has ever licked your hand, your arm, or even your face, it probably seems simple, cute, random, maybe a little weird. But here's what most people never realize. That rough little sandpaper tongue, it's carrying a message, and not a small one. Because licking is one of the deepest social signals a cat can give. A behavior connected to trust, emotion, and instinct all at once. And there's one meaning behind it that almost everyone misunderstands completely. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly what your cat is really saying every time they lick you. If you enjoy discovering how tiny cat behaviors reveal bigger emotional truths, make sure you subscribe, because this is where things get fascinating. Now let's start with the meaning most people get wrong. Number 1, the grooming myth. You've probably heard this before. Cats lick you because they're grooming you like another cat. And technically, that's not entirely false. But it barely scratches the surface of what's actually happening. Because most people think grooming is casual for cats. It isn't. In the feline world, grooming, also known as allogrooming, is highly selective behavior. Cats do not groom everyone equally. They reserve it for specific individuals, trusted companions, close social bonds, members of what they consider their inner circle. That's what makes the behavior so important. Now picture your cat climbing into your lap quietly. Their body relaxes against you. Then suddenly, a few focused licks against your hand. Slow, intentional, not random at all. Because in that moment, your cat isn't simply cleaning you. They're extending a social ritual normally reserved for beings they feel emotionally safe around. And here's the deeper layer most people never realize. Cats groom individuals they trust because grooming reinforces connection. It stabilizes social bonds, creates familiarity, maintains emotional closeness through scent and physical contact. So when your cat licks you, they're not pretending you're another cat. They're doing something much more meaningful. They're including you in a behavior tied directly to safety, comfort, and belonging. Think about what that means for a second. Your cat could choose distance, independence, isolation, but instead, they choose contact. A vulnerable, instinctive behavior rooted in trust. And once you understand that, those little licks stop feeling random or silly. Because they're not just affection. They're social bonding behavior shaped by thousands of years of feline instinct. A quiet way your cat says, "You're part of my safe world." But grooming is only one reason cats lick humans. Because sometimes, those licks appear after stress, sudden noises, or emotional tension. And when that happens, your cat may be using you for something even deeper than bonding. And that's the part almost everyone misses. When your cat licks you, they're not pretending you're a cat. They're signaling that you're bonded to them on a level that feels safe, familiar, and protected. Think about who they groom in their world. Kittens, partners, cats they trust enough to sleep beside. Now, picture your cat placing you in that same category. It's a deep, emotional message hidden in a tiny, scratchy lick. And once you see it that way, the whole behavior transforms from acute to something ancient and instinctive. Because for cats, grooming isn't just cleaning, it's connection. You might notice this most when they climb into your lap, press their head against you, and give a few focused licks. That's not random. That's chosen. But here's the interesting part. Some licks don't come from bonding at all. Some come from something much more intense. Number 2, the "I'm calming myself through you" lick. Have you ever noticed your cat licking you right after something startles them, or when they seem a little on edge? Most people assume it's affection, but something deeper is going on. Because sometimes your cat isn't trying to soothe you at all. They're using you to soothe themselves. Here's why this matters. Licking releases endorphins, those natural calming chemicals that help them feel safe. It's the same biological comfort humans feel from a long hug or a warm hand on the shoulder. Picture this. Your cat jumps at a sudden noise, walks over to you, leans in, gives 1 or 2 slow licks, then settles like nothing happened. That tiny moment is them saying, "I feel better because you're here." It's self-soothing wrapped in trust. And here's what most people miss. A cat won't use you for emotional regulation unless they feel deeply safe with you. That's a bond built over time through routine, scent, and quiet moments. Watch for the pattern. Head press, small lick, slow exhale, body relax. When you see those signs together, you're witnessing a calm-down ritual that's both primal and personal. But not every lick is emotional. Some are surprisingly practical and honestly pretty funny. Number 3, the "you smell wrong and I'm fixing it" lick. Picture this. You walk through the door after being outside. Maybe you pet a friend's dog, or you put on a new lotion. Your cat comes over, sniffs your hand, squints, then gives one firm lick. That moment feels tiny, but it reveals something most people never realize. Your cat thinks your scent is wrong, and they're fixing it. Cats rely on scent to survive. It's one of their oldest instincts. When they notice that your identity tag has been altered, they go into what I call scent repair mode. That single lick starts the process of putting their familiar scent back on you. And here's why this is so interesting. This behavior is territorial, but in a soft, affectionate way. It's your cat saying, "You're mine, and I want the world to know," not controlling, protective. You'll recognize the pattern. Sniff, pause, lick, then more licks until they're satisfied. It's a ritual you've probably seen, but never decoded. And hey, if this kind of insight makes your cat's behavior suddenly click, hit subscribe. It's the best way to help more cat lovers understand the hidden messages behind everyday habits. Because the next type of lick, it isn't affectionate at all. It's a warning you should never ignore. Number 4, the warning lick. Most people think every lick is affectionate, but that's not true at all. In fact, one specific kind of lick is actually your cat's way of telling you, "I'm done. Stop now." And this is where things get serious. Remember those moments when you're petting your cat, everything seems fine, and then suddenly swat, bite, jump away. It feels like it came out of nowhere, but it didn't. The warning lick almost always happens first. Picture the scene. You're stroking their back. They twist their head. Give your hand one slow lick. Their body stiffens and their eyes narrow just slightly. That single lick is the final signal before overstimulation tips into irritation. This isn't aggression, it's communication. Cats have low thresholds for repeated touch, especially on their back and tail. When that threshold gets hit, they use the warning lick as a polite version of enough. It's their last gentle option before they protect themselves the only way they know how. Pay attention to this pattern. One lick, freeze, tail twitch, stillness. If you see that sequence, stop petting. You're preventing a conflict before it happens. And this matters because the next type of lick is the complete opposite. It's tender. It's rare. And it means more than most owners ever realize. Number 5, the "You're my safe place" lick. If you've ever had your cat lick you while they're half asleep, purring, or needing your blanket, pay close attention because that moment reveals something deep about how they see you. This isn't stress. This isn't territory. This is comfort at its purest form. Researchers say that kneading and slow, relaxed licking come from kittenhood instincts tied to nursing, warmth, and safety. When your cat repeats those behaviors with you, they're tapping into ancient memories of security. They're not thinking you're their parent. They're recognizing the feeling. Picture your cat curled beside you, eyelids heavy, paws flexing, tiny tongue touching your skin with no rush and no tension. That's not grooming. That's trust. And here's the part most people miss. Cats don't show this version of affection to everyone. They save it for the person who feels familiar, predictable, and emotionally safe. That's you. Watch for the pattern. Soft kneading, slow blinks, gentle licks. Together, those signals mean I feel completely protected here. It's one of the most tender messages a cat can give. If this resonates, drop a comment telling me when your cat tends to lick you most. You'll start noticing patterns you never saw before. This is where everything you've learned comes together. Because once you understand the hidden messages behind each type of lick, your entire relationship with your cat shifts. You now know that a lick isn't random. It's a signal shaped by instinct, emotion, and ancient survival behaviors. Family bonding, self-soothing, scent-correcting, warnings, deep primal safety. Each one carries its own meaning, and you can finally tell them apart. Think about how different your next interaction will feel. Instead of guessing, you'll recognize patterns like the one-lick freeze, the scent repair sniff, or the sleepy kneading lick combo. These moments become clearer, richer, more intentional. And here's why that matters. When you understand your cat's signals, you respond better. You respect limits. You reinforce trust. You strengthen the bond in ways your cat can actually understand. Most people never learn this language, but you have. So, the next time that tiny sandpaper tongue touches your skin, pause for a second. Notice the mood, the body language, the timing. There's always a message hidden in the moment. Because once you learn to read your cat's secret signals, even a single lick becomes something extraordinary.